And so they came, at a friend's behest. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came.
Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV with the Rude Man, and we're getting ready to go into Som All. It's a dungeon that we have to go through to be able to get up to the floating islands of where the dragons live. So I have three ways of doing this. I can go in with other players, which means I'd have to wait for a group to form. I can go in with NPCs. Now that's something new in the game. That wasn't part of the game when I first started playing. You had to go through with other people, and it was just forced on you, which is fine. There's a lot of good people that play the game, and a lot of people that are willing to help. There's not a problem with that. There are some elites out there, but they're everywhere. But they added the ability to be able to use NPCs, which means that I go in as the leader, and if I am a DPS, which I am, then that'll give me another DPS, a tank, and a healer. And those are all NPCs, non-playable characters that go in with you. And you can do it then by yourself anytime you want to. The other way to do it is for me to go over to my second account, grab a 100 level character, come in, and have him run me through. So if I was in a big hurry, that'd be the way to go, because that level 100 character is going to one-hit everything in there. But I'm going to do the NPC thing because it's legit. It's part of the game. And and I'm not in a big hurry. So let's get this formed here. So what you do is you select from Duty Finder if you want to go in with a group of real players, or Duty Support or Trust if you want to go in with NPCs. So we're going to go in with NPC, and Som All, that's what we're going to go into. And so then, see, it adds the Oracle of Frost. It adds, looks like Alphino and the Astinian. So that's who I'm going in with. And let's go. Like a nasty place already. And we're off. Well, first of all, let me get my... Oh, he's already out. Never mind. My carbuncle's already out. So I'm actually the leader. They follow me. But if you notice, once they get close, the tank takes over. And the other DPS goes to work. So they know what they're doing, and they know where to stand and where not to stand. And so if you've never been through this dungeon before, grab somebody and follow them, because they know where not to stand when. So in this case, I would probably stick to Alphino. And the good thing about going through a dungeon like this, you don't have to share the loot, because these guys, they don't care if they get loot. You know what? That wasn't my carbuncle. I forgot Alphino is uses a carbuncle.
Know your folly.
Well, I was wondering why I wasn't getting my the things I was expecting. Later on in the game, Alphino changed his jobs. He becomes a sage. But that's a story for another day. We'll get there. And it looks like Assail is the tank. What is she? She's a gladiator. So she's a paladin.
Away with you!
No, away with you. Who made you the leader? Now you notice that the enemy is throwing AoEs out there. You can see them on the ground. Notice the characters, they'll move away from there. They know not to stand there or they're going to get hit. So like I said, if you're not familiar with the dungeon, and these lower level enemies here are not a big deal. You can pretty much stand and throw all you've got at them and just move out of the way if they target you. But when we get to the mini bosses, there's mechanics that you need to learn. And part of the mechanics is don't stand here when he does that. Stand over there when he does this. The NPCs, Alphino, they know that, so just follow their lead. All right, first mini boss. I usually wait till everybody gets lined up and then step in and then let them have at it. Okay, so this is a mini boss. This is where you want to watch what Alphino or whomever you choose, watch what they do. And if they start running, you start running. I mean, that's obvious right there. They're not always obvious. Nasty looking thing. That's like that in a flower pot in your living room. Uh-oh, he's gonna put the evil eye on me. What's he doing? Oh, I see. Okay, so he targeted me out. Now he's going after Alphino. Got that hornet. Uh-oh. There we go. I gotta pay closer attention to what's going on. I missed a couple of those hornets. You always go after the ads, especially if you're DPS like I am. That's their job, is to take care of the ads while the tank is banging the bad guy. In the old days, everybody had their job and you stuck to it. Like a healer, they did healing. That's what they did. Then, the healers would get a higher level and they would just not always have to heal. And so they'd get bored and they'd start attacking and doing DPS. Okay, that's fine as long as you're also doing your healing. But the problem was, at some point, a lot of the healers thought they were DPS and they wouldn't heal. And so people would get mad and say, hey, you're here to heal, you're not healing. You know? That didn't happen too often, but it's one of those things where you get tired of doing the same job all the time. I used to be a healer in some of the old Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy XI, I was a healer, and oh man, what a job. It's a hard job. I'm not used to doing this. Most of my characters are through the MSQ and I'm doing grinding. When I do grinding, I grind with a higher level character and I just go through and one hit everything just to get the experience. I'm not used to playing with the NPCs like I should. This is kind of fun, actually. Uh-oh. Assail! Help! I either missed some treasure chests or this is the first one. I might have missed a few. Wasn't really watching. Oh well. When I get out of here, I need to check to see if I'm supposed to be doing any job quests. I don't know if you've been noticing, but that dragon's been following us the whole way. We do some fighting and then he comes down and attacks. When he's had enough, then he takes off. He's going to follow us the whole way.
Release!
Another treasure coffer. I had a tough night last night. I woke up at 2:30. Managed to go back to sleep and woke up at 4 when I heard the shower running. My son does medical work where he takes care of clients and stuff medically, and he has a client that he has to run into dialysis 3 times a week, and he has to leave here about 4 o'clock in the morning. So he gets up at 4 and showers and gets off to work, and it woke me up, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I've been up since 4 o'clock. It's noon 30 right now, and I'm just now having my morning tea. I did lay down for a little bit about 7 o'clock to catch up a little bit on sleep, but usually that messes up your whole day. Okay, we gotta watch this guy's tail. This fight has changed a little bit. He'll come and now see, it won't let me do anything. It used to be you had to go attack those before he got to them.
Know your folly.
I'm not quite sure what the deal is now. Oh shoot! Can't get in it. Can't get out of this. Yeah, you used to have to go attack those things before he got to them because he uses them as a weapon by knocking them with his tail. But this has changed. They've dumbed it down. And they've done that with quite a few things on the dungeons and stuff. They've dumbed them down. They've made the jobs easier to play. Good or bad, it's hard to say. But the thing is, though, like I said, the game's been out almost 15 years. And, oh, that's the one we were supposed to get. Okay, stick with him. The game's been out 15 years, and if you were starting, they want you to catch up to where the current content is. Well, to do that, they make it a little easier to level up. So you can level up quicker and get to where all your friends are. So if you have friends that have been playing for 15 years, they're going to have high-level characters, and you're going to want higher-level characters too. So they changed the game just a little bit to make it a little bit easier for you to level up and be able to play with your friends. matter of fact, if you're really impatient, you can buy a token. So let's say we're level 54 right now in this dungeon because I'm synced down to the dungeon. But let's say your friend has been playing for a few years and they're level 80 or 90. They haven't reached 100 yet and they want you to come and play with them. So let's say they're level 80. Well, you can buy a token now that pops you up to level 80 and gives you credit for everything up to that point, so that you can then jump in and play with your friends if you're impatient and you want to spend real life money. I don't do that because I like playing the games over. I like starting the games over from scratch. That's why I have so many characters. It's nostalgia, you know. I had a lot of fun leveling up from level 1. I want to do it again and again and again. So that doesn't bother me to level up like that, to grind. I'm grinding every day, so it doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like to grind. I remember the day that last boss, that last mini boss that we just fought with the big jelly beans and the spiked tail. God, that guy was hard. I'd come in here with a group and we'd get killed. We'd wipe out 3 or 4 times before we got to the next boss. And so much easier now. Here it comes again. Guy's harassing us. Oh shoot, I almost got creamed. That wasn't the guy that's following us, it's this guy. Yeah, I made a little bit of a misstep there and got clobbered. I'm not paying attention.
Your guard is down.
Piling on us. Just want to make sure I haven't missed a treasure box. It's not too big a deal, but you miss treasure, you miss money. So, money makes the world go round. They don't call it money in this game, they call it gil. Some games they call it gold. I had somebody in one of my live streams said, "Oh, there's another guy out there that's your age playing games." And I said, "What?" There's another 72-year-old playing games? I don't believe it. I thought I was the only one. I'm sure I'm not. But I don't know any. So they told me who it was. I went and looked him up. He plays first-person shooters, which I don't play. I don't care for first-person shooters. Oh, he doesn't look happy. Tiaman, consort of Nidhogg, we beseech you. Grant us passage, I guess. I didn't keep up with that. As I thought, blind to reason like the rest, if you would see our mission to conclusion, you know what must be done. Such rage and rancor, is there truly no other way? All right, I guess not. The fight's on. Anyway, it's the hand-eye coordination that I don't have to play the first-person shooters. I'm just not fast enough. So I get killed too easy. I get in a fight and I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, what button do I push? And by then I'm dead. So I just can't play those kind of games. So they're not fun for me, consequently. So I stick to the role-playing games, things like that. Now, some of the role-playing games that I play, Fallout 4, for example, has a component of first-person shooter in it, but it's not the main thing. All right, now it's the main boss here, so I need to watch what Alphino does, and I need to follow him. If you have trouble with that, then you can put a marker on his head. Like you can put what they call a Dorito on him, and it makes him easier to spot in all the commotion.
Know your folly.
Run away, run away. We got hit a little bit there. Are we supposed to do anything with those, or are we supposed to hide? Hard to say. Nope. I couldn't remember. Sometimes when they drop big rocks like that, you hide behind them.
Away with you!
All right, let's go this way. In this case, instead of dropping bombs, they make you the bomb. Left wing. Right wing, left wing. Are they attacking the wings? Oh, shoot. I didn't see that. Holy smokers. Thanks, Alphino. All right, we got the right wing guard.
Know your folly.
Yeah, I've done a better job before. I'm just lucky that I haven't got creamed yet. And the fact that they've dumbed the dungeon down. Obviously, if you've got a bomb over your head, you don't want to run the same place that everybody else is running. I do have to remember that I can heal myself. I do have a healing capability. And Summoner also has the ability to raise people if they get killed. Now, it's not real important unless you're in a group where, let's say, your healer gets taken out. Well, you can bring them back as a summoner. In other cases, if I was a dragoon and the healer got taken out, we'd just be screwed because there wouldn't be anybody to heal us. All right. We made it. Cutscene. Now, notice this is fake Roland. This is Kit. You can tell he's got purple eyes. Roland's a little bit taller, I think, and Roland has lighter skin, and Roland has cat eyes. Kit does not have cat eyes. Kit has human eyes. So by that, what I mean is human eyes, you have a round iris, but with cat eyes, there's a slit. And so like that, like Alphino's eyes, Kit has those kind of eyes. Roland doesn't. Roland's got cat eyes. We'll be back on Roland here not too long. I just have to level up a little bit. 'Twould seem Teoman was the last. I sensed no other dragons nearby. I forgot I'm supposed to be narrating. What is happening? Uh-oh. Did they sense his... He's got Nidhogg's eye. Gasp, Nidhogg. He roars. He knows we're here then. His fury, it bleeds through the eye. Fear not, I am yet my own master. But that damned worm, wrath burns hotter than flame. Come, the heart of the dragon's homeland yet lies before us. So he's got the evil dragon's eyeball. And so he's got some of the evil dragon's power. Thus do we add another link to the chain of vengeance. Oh, Saint Shiva, when will it end? She's a do-gooder.
To the peak of Som Al, at the end of a perilous mountain path, whence could be seen a string of pearl-like islands floating impossibly atop a sea of clouds. To a domain where dragons and men had once lived in harmony, whose majesty no mortal eye had glimpsed for nigh on 1,000 years. They came.
The churning mists, Dravanya. Now you know why you have to be a dragon to live up here. You need to be able to fly to get from island to island. Alrighty. Well, in this case, you notice there is a narrator. In A Realm Reborn, there's certain people that kind of tell the story. In Heavensward, it's the Count in Foundation that is telling the story via his diary. All right, so that's the way back down right there. So let's go up, and we should be getting our last ether current, so we can fly down below at this point. I think it's tied to this quest that we're turning in right here. Let's get a little closer to Kit here. We have reached it at last, the peak of Som All. 'Tis said to be the highest mountain in all of Erosia, you know. I thought it cold in Corthius, but the air here carries the chill of a dozen winters. Yep, there it is. There's our air current. All right, Freebird, Javarian Forelands. So down below we can fly now. Sweet. All right, Alphino. Beyond the clouds, Alphino ponders the means by which you might find Rossavager. I can never pronounce that. Or any of them, for that matter. Kids call him Fred and Ethel. Now that we have scaled the mountain, there remains the problem of finding Rossavager himself. Ooh, a Moogle. What manner of creature's that? You've never seen a Moogle? Run away! Run away! Kit, do my eyes deceive me, or is that a Moogle? Yep. It was my understanding that they only dwelled within the Heavensward. I certainly never expected to see one in the churning mists. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where Roskvalger makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. Don't worry, we know where it's going. All right, so we're going to grab this ether right here, or etherite. And then we're going to grab this summoning stone over here so we can travel. What did that say? The stone appears to be a large horn. Perhaps if you were to blow into one of the holes, it would summon a Kokobo, though it may be prudent to leave a rental fee just in case. Okay, I'm going to blow through its holes. That doesn't sound sanitary in some such. Hire a Kokobo. No, we don't really need to hire nobody, so we're not going to do that. To be able to hire, we need to have a second point to travel to. We don't have that yet, so. Let's find our comrades. Alphino, my boy. Bah, he's gone. Kit, we must widen our search. Don't worry, they're down here everywhere. They're everywhere. Etheric disturbance, that's really nothing. The destination, that is something. Again, we're looking for the Moogle. I've heard tales of these Moogles, but 'tis the first time I've ever laid eyes on one. They are rather adorable, aren't they? What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find a creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. Her nickname is Ice Heart. I see no evidence of this Moogle of yours. Are you certain it wasn't a trick of the light? Mayhaps 'twas simply one of these strange plants shifting in a breeze. Kind of pessimistic. That's nothing, but this is something. There's no sign of a Mughal in the area. Really? None at all? Well, okay. Let's talk to Alphino. Trust me, they're here. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. I'm sure I glimpsed the Mughal fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself with magic? Well, of course he could. Mountaintop diplomacy. Alphino seems convinced that the Mughals hold the key to finding Hrosvalgar. So guess what he's going to want to do? Hear ye, hear ye. I know where the Mughals live. We have Mughals that live in the forest where we are, in Gridania. I wonder if they know about these Mughals. Confound it. Could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Mughals, I am certain Hrosvalgar would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mists for days and not know if we were any closer to his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Lyselle, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge to be safe to approach? I shall try, yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Duvarians in the area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Alphino? I've not yet given up on the Mughals. Kit, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Mughals' kin in the Twelveswood. After that business with Mughal I dare say they will be glad to help us. Yeah, we had to kill their king. Well, kill. He was a primal. But assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze, in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Estinian. Come then, Kit. Let us make haste for Gridania and rendezvous at Nofika's altar. Ah, but I neglected to tell you. There is an aetherite of ancient construction which should make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. Okay, we got it. It was upstairs. Yeah, it's pictures like this right now that you can tell how much darker his skin is than Roland's. He almost looks orange. All right, so they want us to go back to Gridania. So I think I will end the episode here, and when we come back, we'll head to Gridania and meet up with the Mughals that live there and see if they know anything about their distant cousins up here. Anyway, I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you then. Ta-ta for now.